This is the Great Lakes Group by Deanna,
Isaac, Davis,
Caitlin, and Mac. Have you ever heard the story of the Great Poke Tree by Lynn Cherry?
It's all about conserving the rainforest and the many living things that depend on the kapok tree.
It taught me lots about protecting the environment.
I don't think we have any K-pop trees in our neighborhood.
No, but we have other things to protect. What about protecting that old watering hole down the street?
That old thing, why would we protect it?
It doesn't provide shelter or food for the monkeys or boa constrictors like the kapok tree.
The water hole is an important ecosystem. Lots of animals and reptiles need water holes to survive.
Like what, the mosquitoes?
Yes, the mosquitoes. The fish eat the mosquitoes and the birds eat the fish.
There you have it, a food chain.
It doesn't seem like a very important food chain to me.
My mom says that if they fill it in that watering hole, we won't have so many snakes around here.
Does your mom think that snakes are attracted to the water?
I guess so, I'm not sure.
Snakes actually eat some of the mice that live around the watering hole.
The snake is a predator and the mice are its prey.
If there weren't any snakes, then we would have one less predator for the mice.
Then there would be too many mice and they might have to leave the watering hole to find more food.
The mice might try to come in our houses for food.
In an ecosystem, every living organism depends on another for survival.
What can we do to protect our watering hole?
We can start by keeping it clean and litter-free.
That means we need to pick up all the garbage that people either throw there or that the wind blows there.
We can also start by educating people about how to help.
We don't have to do much to support the animals that live there.
If we leave them alone and don't allow littering, nature will usually take care of itself.
We can just relax and enjoy the natural ecosystem that we helped to protect.
This is Lake Superior, this is Lake Michigan, this is Lake Huron, Lake Erie, oh my gosh.
This is the food web, and and this is something else that we found too. And here's one, it's like the plants and the fish and what the fish eat. So the coontail, the largemouth bass, and the northern pike, and the rock bass, and the lesser scaup, and redhead eat the plant coontail.
Here are some of the plants. Flower rush, cattail plant, and hard rush plant, and lily birds. So
here are the precipitations for each of these months. For January, we have 2 inches. February, 1.5. March, we have 3 inches, and so on and so on.
For our fun facts, number 1, Great Lakes contains over 1/5 of world's fresh water. Number 2, Great Lakes contains 6 quadrillion gallons of water. Number 3, Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world. And number 4, Lake Superior, last time it fully froze was in 1997. And number 5, Lake Erie is the shallowest Great Lake.
Some of the fish in the Great Lakes are flounder, cod, shad, and sauger.
Precipitation is the types of water in the atmosphere such as hail, sleet, or rain. The Great Lakes precipitation can affect its weather in many different ways. Such as winter, you get lots of snow in Michigan, but in the Great Lakes there's a thing called lake effect. Lake effect is a well-known effect in the wintertime. In late winters, lakes have no ice pack in the middle. The winds that come from the west starts to get warmer, while the moist air passes over the cold surface, which most times produces heavy snowfall. Precipitation on the Great Lakes affects the human race. It affects the human race by rising on the tides, which causes houses and buildings to collapse. It can cost us millions, maybe even billions of dollars. In conclusion, the precipitation of the Great Lakes can affect our daily lives.
Great Lakes pollution. Have you ever wondered if you littered before? Have you ever threw out trash or cans in the water? Well, some people do. In 2004, the population produced more than 3 trillion liters of waste. That is 1.2 million Olympic swimming pools of waste. More than 90 million liters of waste are dumped in the Great Lakes every year. Pollution is a terrible thing to do, but in 1972, the Great Lakes Quality Agreement was developed to promise to keep the lakes clean. The agreement was updated in 1978 with a new version of the agreement in September 7, 2012.
Oil drilling. Oil drilling helps us with producing energy but increases the danger of the human race and pollution in the environment. The only reason people have second thought about oil drilling is because the Great Lakes produces so much for us that they don't want to ruin it with an oil spill. I think it would be great if we could figure out a safer way to drill oil.
Water treatment. People don't think about how they treat the Great Lakes if they throw or do something bad to the water. When someone does something bad to the water, it harms the environment and the fish. A lot of people try to save the environment, to save the bad stuff that floating in the water that shouldn't be floating there, to save people that swim there and fish that live there.
Fracking in the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes saw a huge interest in natural gas developed by hydraulic fracturing. It injects a mix of water, chemicals, and high sand pressures to rainwater. Natural gases and liquids move to the top of the water surface. The fracking of deep wells can reach up to a mile deep. It requires water, chemicals, and great pressure. These wells have more water risks. Because of these risks, the National Wildlife Federation is concerned about the impact of fracking. The entire life cycle is fracking as it relates to water. If the chemicals reach the surface, it won't be safe. We need to stop